Okay, so to continue about the topic of World Organization, I'm gonna add or explain about the function, principle, and then some challenges. So the first is the function. So when it comes to function, there are four here. And the first one is peacekeeping and conflict prevention, and then the second one is promotion of human rights and humanitarian aid. And then we have the third one, that is the economic cooperation and development assistance. And then the last one is environmental protection and climate action. So we all know that peacekeeping missions are deployed that in order for them to stabilize regions that is torn by war or like political unrest, and also they also help enforce ceasefires, and then especially they protect civilians and then support also post-conflict reconstruction. So this type of is kaning World Organization, since there is really need and involvement of diplomacy, mediation, and then early warning systems just to stop the disputes from escalating, or like kanang mulala bitaw siya into violence na siya. So for example kay katong ang UN peacekeepers, they are the ang katong UN peacekeepers sa South Sudan, then they protect displaced populations, while also the mediators kanang they also work in order to prevent kanang mga renewed civil war, what we call na. So the promotion of human rights. So we all know that world organizations monitor abuses, and also nag-advocate sila sa justice, and especially nag-provide sila emergency relief. So the human rights promotion nag-include siya og bitawng setting international standards bitaw para sa tong sa UDHR bitaw nga they also nag-investigate pud sila violations through like bodies. They have this what we call Human Rights Council bitaw. So the humanitarian aid, so ang kaning humanitarian aid, they addresses kanang immediate needs sa mga tao, sa mga civilians, such as food, shelter, medical cares, when it comes to mga crisis nga earthquakes and mga armed conflicts. So for instance, humanitarian agencies coordinated aid na siya. So the third one, economic cooperation and development assistance. So organizations like the World Bank, para sa tong IMF, katong explain ni Glenn ganina nga, they also provide loans, grants, and technical expertise just to help countries mag-build og bitong infrastructure, and then they also help para maka-reduce og poverty, and then especially para ma-stabilize ang economy. So development assistance includes capacity building. They also have para sa training governments nga bitong mag-help og manage og mga resources, and then also economic cooperation also. They also bitong handle trade agreements, regional integration, para sa ASEAN nga organization bitaw. Yeah. So the fourth one is last function sa kaning World Organization kay it is all about environmental protection and climate change. So we all know that global institutions, they coordinate responses to climate change and also biodiversity loss, and then especially common sa to karon ang pollution. So they set binding agreements para sa tong very known sa to ang Paris Agreement, and then they also fund projects for renewable energy, and then conservation, and then disaster resilience. Yeah. So climate change really also involves when it comes involves of supporting vulnerable mga laing nations bitaw nga napay problema when it comes to mga weather or sa related to climate, like para sa mga sea levels bitaw, like rising sea levels nga. So for example, ang example ani katong program sa UN nga about sa environment program sa UN nga nag-help siya sa usa ka country nga transition gikan siya sa transition padulong dito sa sustainable practices bitaw, while nag-monitor gyapon sila sa global emissions. So the next is the principles of World Organization. So first is we have the sovereign equality of states, that all member states, regardless of power or size, have equal rights and obligations. So kani nga principle jud nagpasabot ni siya that all member states mas kinugunsa pa na siya kadaghan or kagamay ang usa ka population ninyo na isa ra jud ang kikinahanglan ninyo nga vote when it comes dira sa General Assembly of the UN. So no matter unsa kagamay ang Pilipinas or unsa kadako ang unsa ka another country, isa ra jud ka boto ang kanan ninyo kanang ma-counted dira sa UN or dira sa vote when it comes sa mga organizations. Kanimang dito yun nila, it's in order for them kanang nag-symbolize magud siya equality when it comes sa decision making. So yeah. So then the second one is non-interference in domestic affairs. So international organizations man god respect the kanang sovereignty of states bitaw. So how do they respect it man? By avoiding intervention when it comes to mga internal matters. And then so also pod in addition, this type of principle pod man god is they protects national independence, especially prevents external dominations. Pero nano siya exceptions, that is when domestic like kanang bitang na moarise na bitang sa domestic actions kanang mag-involve na og mga grave breaches kanang may mga nakuan na when it comes sa mga nalapa na mga nakuan bitaw nila nga mga law nalabag nila nga mga balaod when it comes sa international law pares anang sa mga genocide or kanang another crimes that against humanity. So for example ani kay katong sa for example, ang UN Security Council, they cannot authorize intervention. Katong para sa tong genocide bitaw sa Rwandan genocide ata to. Pero they also need to balance respect for sovereignty with the responsibility to protect the what we call human rights. Yeah, so the third one is the collective security. So this type of principle is the idea that peace is indivisible. So that means an attack against one member is considered an attack against all. So this principle underpins alliance and peacekeeping frameworks. That means that it can promote also joint defense and also joint deterrence. Yeah. So ang kaning UN Charter kanang they also empowers the Security Council to take mag-take og collective measures bitaw against threats to peace. So appeal na dira ang kanang mga sanctions or any mga military actions. Yeah. Then the fourth one is the multilateralism and cooperation. So kini nga type of principle, it emphasizes syempre cooperation katong sa mga nagkalain-lain nga mga states, pinaagi sa mga dialogue, negotiation or like mga consensus that can help them solve the global challenges. So this also prevents unilateralism, yeah, and then encourages shared responsibility. Yeah, so ang example ani kay kanang mga climate negotiations. So without biya ni multilateralism biya nga mga type of kanang binding is that kanang dili lisod kayo mag-agree bitaw, like lisod kayo makipag communicate sa lain nga mga state with wala mo mga agreement. So ang example ani kay katong sa climate negotiations nga na-fall siya under sa Paris Agreement nga ang states kay they collectively pledge nga they should reduce the emissions, and then also trade discussions within sa katong WTO, World Trade Organization. And then yeah, so kani nga principle, this really fosters inclusivity, and then it really helps or strengthens legitimacy when it comes to international decision making. So and then the next one is all about the challenges that is faced by world organizations. So enforcement of decisions, so very common. So many organizations rely on vocabulary compliance, so resolutions are often ignored. So mostly manggod sa international organizations kanang nagrely lang jud sila sa compliance bitaw rather than what we call binding enforcement. Pares anang there are many resolutions nga gipass dira sa UN Assembly pero ilaha lang gi-ignore dili tungod kay dili sila gidahal because that is naglack siya og legal force. So maskin ang mga Security Council's decisions kay makadetermine man sila if kanang ang usa ka state kay mo refuse siya to cooperate. So for example na lang ana kay for example kay despite the repeated UN resolutions, that North Korea still continues sa katapang nuclear program nila nga kuan nga nag-show og limit of enforcement when it comes sa katong naglimit siya sa enforcement ba sa mga powerful nga mga states. Yeah, so the second one is power imbalances among state members. So although sovereign equality is kanang principle siya, pero in practice, dominant states often shape agendas and outcomes. So, wealthy or like kanang militarily powerful ba siya, they still exert this, ang usa ka nation they still exert disproportionate influence. So, undermining fairness, like for instance, katong sa UN Security Council bitaw nga permanent members nung 5 ka buok ba sila nga nag-hold sila veto power, that allows also them to block actions even when the majority supports intervention, and this imbalance can paralyze decision making, and then especially it can also erode trust like sa mga gagmay nga mga states. And then the third one is funding and resource funding and resource constraints. Yeah, so biggest challenge po ni siya sa sakakuan, like because kay ang usa manggod ka organization, they just depend on members contributions. So sometimes since magadepende naman sila, that means sometimes ma-delay, then withheld or like ma-politicize nga na siya. Then so like katong so that means nga kaning type of challenges like limited budgets, it really restrict their ability bitaw to respond quickly when it comes if naay mga crisis or like mga long term nga mga programs. So for example na lang katong very known na to nga peacekeeping missions, permitted yun siya like naay shortage bitaw na dili lang paabot sa personnel but also especially sa mga equipment jud. And that is because trapod sa mga members sa usa ka organization that they provide, nag-fail bitaw sila nga i-provide ang adequate nga support bitaw. Yeah. Pares na lang atong very known na to nga pandemic, that is katong COVID-19 bitaw nga ang WHO, which is known as the World Health Organization, kay nag-struggle jud siya og funds when it comes sa kuan kay mag-affect man gud ang usa ka global response, global another capacity. Yeah. And then the fourth one is rising nationalism and skepticism toward multilateralism. So, sa mga naging like in recent years, manggod, there are many states that have prioritized sovereignty and domestic interests over collective action. So, this type of trends, it really weakens cooperation and undermines global agreements. So, example na lang there are some countries nga mag-withdraw from climate accords bitaw or like trade deals na mag-withdraw deals na then para sa tong Brexit bitaw, very no to ang Brexit nga kuan nga kay so for example na ang Brexit na it was reflected skepticism toward regional integration. So next na is mga future trends sa world organizations. So digital governance and cybersecurity cooperation. So, mag-increase jud ang need for global framework, like mas usbong bitaw ang paggamit sa mga digital para sa mga AI nga mga ethics. Pero when it comes pag naapod sila yung mga global data protection and regulations bitaw, pagpagin na lang po nila sa mga digital governance and then mga especially sa mga cybersecurity. Kay in the future manggod, mas magamit yun nato ang what we call katong mga technology. Mas magamit nato siya in the future, not just mas strong pa bitaw ang sa kaband sa organization. And then the next future trends sa world organizations, that climate change is a central agenda. So siguro from time to time mas rise ang usa ka problem sa climate kanang action, siguro mas mukuan ang ilang issue, mas dako ang ilang issue, that means nga mas mag-require siya og mga coordinated response. So in the future this type of problem mas madaghan pa ang ilahang mga agreement, dili lang para sa tong known nga Paris Agreement, but also mas madaghan pa ang mga possible nga mga agreement or kanang mga multilateral nga mga partnership nagtackle about climate. So the third future trends in world organization, expanding influence, of regional organizations. So, kanang regional blocs are gaining more autonomy and then shaping global debates. So, maybe in the future mas ma-expand ang ilang mga influence dira sa mga organizations dili lang within the, sa state, mas also ma-encourage po sila sa uban nga mga state also nga kanabitang nga mas mo cooperate sa ilahan. And then so the last future trends sa world organizations, maybe they would call for UN reform, and then sometimes they would pressure to make the UN more representative and effective. Like for example na lang siguro ani kay kanang ang katong mga Security Council bitaw sa UN kay mas gusto nila nga mas mo with strong bitaw, like mo lambo, or like mas mo kuan ang ilahang mo strong ang ilahang bitang power, like dili lang when it comes sa mga minor nga mga peacekeeping lang, but also siguro naabot sila siguro yung mga hunaan nga mga nga mas makatabang pa, or like mas makahelp pa unsaon pagprotect sa usa ka state. So I guess that's all for our topic about the World Organization. Thank you.